Now you're by around 1949. You're back to Jocelyn.
at the wire mill business. And
Yes.
in the wire mill, and the general manager by that time, he trusted me. He turned over jobs that really weren't just a metallurgist. But I had an engineering background, and the redesign of the wire mill, their heat treating and cleaning had a lot to be desired. And so I put in a semi-automated copper plating line and a continuous heat treating line and descaling and pickling line. And we were having a good product going to the drop benches. And in the heat treating, we're using molten salt instead of a gas furnace. And our general manager, he had a weak spot for athletes.
Oh, okay. Now you're going to tell
Now,
us. Okay.
Fort Wayne had a pretty good minor league hockey team. And some of the players played in the International Hockey League, and they were on their way down. And he hired a hockey player, and he asked me to train him. And then he hired the best boxer out of Fort Wayne, King was his name, and asked me to train him how to lower the coils of wire into the molten salt for heat treating. And this boxer, he had his brains really rocked in boxing. And he never could pick up how to press the button to lower the coil into the furnace. And the works manager was pushing the job, and we didn't have a wall, fireproof type of wall. So he said, let's put a canvas and hanging down to prevent from splashes from the furnace salt and quenching in water and stuff. Well, when he put one of these coils in there too rapidly, he splashed molten salt up.
Too rapidly means like dropping, right? It's
It practically
like
dropped.
dropping.
And this
Splashed molten
baffle material caught on fire, and the roof was like this, slanted. And for some reason, they thought that they sprayed a insulating material that was fireproof. Well, it turned out it wasn't. As soon as the fire hit that first, and when it hit it, the fire like a snake crawled to the high spot. And I was in the middle of that department when all of this happened. And I'll tell you, I saw how a fire can start from scratch to really take over. And we had our computer office right off on the side of one of the end of the department. Where their door went in, we had all these computers
computers in those days were these mechanical
Big.
devices.
Oh yeah,
If
they
you
were
remember
big.
Marchands
It
and
had to be air
clickety
conditioned.
click, right?
And I ran down there and told them I was convinced it was going to be a major fire. And told them to grab everything very important, get it out of there as rapidly as possible. We got a fire in the wire mill. And I could never go part way down that wire mill. The smoke kept rolling, and that whole department was completely filled with black smoke. In fact, the smoke was smothering some of the fires. That's how bad it was. And they had to clear out. And they got the fire department in, and they spent 2 days because after they got some of it under control and they were working in other areas, it would break out again. So they couldn't leave until they really got it. What happened is the steel machinery didn't get harmed because of the smoke. Reduced the fire, but it burned out a lot of the wiring, electrical wiring.
I call this.
So that was the main problem.
I call this incident the day the mill burned down.
Yeah. So it put us out of commission.
But there was a lesson in there about bringing in inexperienced people. There was again a lesson. Somebody compromised.
Don't rush.
Right.
Compromising safety.
Exactly.
I mean, he did it on his own. I wouldn't have done that. He wanted to get to see it operating, and the people in industry, something new, they really are very much interested in seeing it work correctly.